Hey YouTube, this is B-Rav from Yu-Gi-Oh! Metagame.biz.tc. I'm here to talk to you about the September 1st, 2010 ban list. These are going to be my predictions. First off, I'm going to start from the ban cards. Newly banned card, I believe it's probably going to be Rescue Cat. Rescue Cat's based in Synchro Cat, X-Sabers, Gladiator Beast, stuff like that. Yeah, so, I mean, the cat got restricted to 1 back when Synchro Cat first came out, so I think it's time for the kitty to go. I mean, you can just draw the cat for a game, basically, and now these days. So I think the cat's going to be limited. It's either going to stay limited and they're going to ban something else, or restrict something else, or either that, or they're just going to ban Rescue Cat straight up. So that's my ban cards. I also don't think any ban cards are going to come back, so I'm just going to stick with that. Limited to 1s, I'm going to go ahead and go over those. First off is going to be Treeborn Frog. Treeborn Frog never should have been limited to 2 for the basic factor. It's a level 1, and you can use 1-for-1 for it. That, and it bounces back over and over again until you remove it from play with DD Crow. So I think Treeborn should go back to 1. Also, limit to 1. I don't have one, unfortunately. So, Substitute. Substitute is based out of Froggy Monarchs and the Froggo TK that's out now. So, Substitute is the main base of the deck, so I think it should be limited to 1. So, that's that card. The next card is going to be Dandelion. Dandelion's another card I don't think should have been limited to 2. Once again, I mean, but Dandelion's not really used in it much anymore, except for in the Dandy Warrior deck. So I think it should be fine. Maybe still at 2, but I'm gonna go ahead and say put it back at 1. The next card is gonna be Gold Sarcophagus. Gold Sarcophagus is actually coming out in the Duelist Revolution Special Edition box as a super rare, so it's gonna be easier for everyone to get, and I believe it should just be restricted to 1. I mean, it's too good of a card. People are just removing Fall Troll and getting Fall Troll, or you know, Lightsworn does tend to come back, JD. But so Gold Sarc, I'll go ahead and go to 1. In Japan, this card's hot. This card's really hot. Miracle Fusion. I think it should get limited to 1, and you'll see why in my limited to 2 cards here in a little bit. So Miracle Fusion should go at 1 because E-Heroes are going to be coming out pretty strong in this next format, I believe. So Miracle Fusion at 1. Card that everyone hates now, Royal Oppression. I think should go to 1. It's just too good of a card. It's a game controller. As soon as you play what you need to play, you just activate Royal Oppression afterwards and screw your opponent over. So yeah, Royal Oppression needs to go to 1. The next thing I'm going to do is hurt X-Sabers by eliminating Dark Soul to 1. Dark Soul is like having 3 extra Sangans in your X-Saber deck, except for, you know, it just comes at the end phase, but still too strong of a card for X-Sabers, so I believe limited to 1 should be sufficient enough. Next, I'm going to go to my limit to 2s. I'm going to start off with Smashing Ground, and I might as well go ahead and throw Book of Moon out there. These 2 cards are at 3 right now. I think in the next format, you know, these cards are going to get better. I mean, obviously everyone uses 3 Book of Moons, or, I mean, Smashing is not that hot, but I still think that Smashing should be limited to 2. I mean, everyone that does run Smashing Ground runs it at 2 anyway, so I just think that 2 is sufficient enough for both of these 2. Next card is Dust Tornado. This is one of my picks. Dust Tornado is usually mained in every deck now, so I think a small limit to 2, just because it's a trap card and you have to set it, should be sufficient enough for that. But that's my prediction. I don't think that anyone else has actually made this prediction, so that's just my personal opinion card. Next is Infernity Archfiend. This is one of the cards, it's Infinities, that mainly makes the deck work. You top deck it with no card in your hand, and you get your combos going. So simple limit to 2, if not 1, will limit the Infinities to their OTK and make them think more strategically on this. So either limit to 2, possibly limit to 1, but definitely limit to 2 on Archfiend. This is another personal guess, is Dark Grepher to 2, maybe 1. I doubt it though. Maybe not even a 2. So we'll go ahead and say Dark Grepher at 2 and no more than that. Next is to bring the Lightsworns back a little bit. This is a personal opinion card again. Bring Lumina back to 2 and leave charge at 1, of course. Just Lumina just gives the Lightsworns just a little extra boost, I guess you could say, to see if they can try topping at an event. Next card is Thunder King Ryo. Thunder King's one of the best cards in the metagame right now. Everyone main decks them, everyone side decks them. So I think a simple limit to 2, and maybe even 1 if Konami is serious about this card. But I think a simple limit to 2 would have just helped the metagame out a little bit. I mean, you can't add cards to your hand when this card's on the field, except for Gold Sarcophagus. So, limit to 2 on Thunder King Ryo. Next card is Battle Fader. Battle Fader has been coming pretty handy in the Frog Monarchs and all kinds of other stuff. So, I think a simple limit to 2 with Battle Fader will be just fine. Next card is going to be Destiny Draw. Destiny Draw should come down to 2. If I limit Miracle Fusion to 1, I could see this card coming to 3 just to give the D-Hero engine a little draw power, but then again, Konami doesn't like draw power, so I think 2 on D-Draw should be just good enough. Next card is Pounding on Fairies. Manju, the 10,000 hands. Manju should be restricted to 2, just because it's either or, you can choose. So limit to 2 would kind of hurt the fairy deck a little bit. I can see Konami possibly limiting this to 1, but I'm gonna go ahead and say just put it at 2. It should be fine. The fairy decks aren't that hard to beat anyways. Next card is Quick Draw Synchron. There's a card in Star Strike Blast called Tuning. It's add 1 Synchron tutor from your deck to your hand, and it's a spell card, normal spell card that is. So I think limiting Quick Draw will be a sufficient thing for this next format. Hence all the good Synchron cards that are coming out in it. Tuning being one of them. So limit to 2 on Quick Draw, maybe even 1, just because of the destructive power this card came out with this format. And next I'm gonna go over my untouched cards. Cold Wave. Cold Wave is a good card, but I don't think it deserves to be banned or anything, because I mean, you can always come back next turn. I mean, I can see this card getting banned along with Rescue Cat, but I highly doubt it. Next card is Infernity Launcher with no touching. Archfiend really starts the combo to get the launcher, so I would see Launcher not even touched. Like I said earlier, Archfiend should be limited to 1, but I think Launcher should be just fine. The next card is Brain Control. A lot of people are saying Brain Control should be banned because you need top deck Brain Control for game. How often does that happen? Like, really? But Brain Control, it's fine. Everyone mains it. It's a staple card. It's a common. Who cares? 800 life points. That could put you in jeopardy. And then my last card is going to be X-Saber's Ember's Blade. A lot of people are saying this card and Dark Soul were going to get limited to 2, but I can only see Ember's Blade going to 2 and Dark Soul going to 1. But I don't think Ember's Blade will get touched if Dark Soul gets hurt to 1. So yeah, that's my video. Just leave any comments down here, I don't know if you can see it there. There we go. I saw my shadow first. But yeah, just let me know what you think. Y'all have a good night.